is. Like you're from Veleda star system. I have no idea what it is. I look at it, but it's like VELEDA star system, Veleda. I never heard of it, never seen myself, but it came to me so clear. You telepathically told me before the session.
Oh,
Yeah.
can I have a pen and paper so I can write this down? And then,
Yeah, sure. I mean, I can also write it in our chat. You'll see it on
okay,
the screen now popping up if you want. Skype. And I'm also recording, so it's gonna be
okay,
recorded for you.
awesome.
System here. You probably see it popping up there now.
Okay.
So, I mean, I started recording already if you want. Unless you have some questions. I mean, I prefer not to hear anything about people because it's like whatever comes anyway. It's not going to influence me what you told me before. Maybe, as a matter of fact, completely opposite from what you're doing in this life or whatever. So it doesn't make any difference. So, if you're ready.
Yes.
Yeah, it's it's like a system. It's like a big system of planets. I see it for I don't know what it is. I mean, it's obviously artificial. It's made out of, I feel like it's metallic. It's artificially, it's metallized. There are 5 and 4 on the side of, and plus 2 little satellites of this planet. So it's like, so 9 planets. Okay, so 9 planets, 5 of them are big, and they're kind of going in a circle. Then there's 4 smaller, and there's 2 of the side from one of the 4 smaller ones. It's like 2 satellites. But for some reason, I feel like I'm suffocating in there. It's AI generated. It's AI generated. I think you probably feel in life like you are going the wrong way. You are not living your right life. You're not living the life you came here to do. It's like you misguided or cannot find your path or doubting because I see like a giant cloud walking. It looks like it looks like that Ghostbusters big marshmallow guy, but he's made out of gray. And he says that it's just the meteorite meteorite monster uh made out of, I felt something like this before somewhere, but he was sent from the other worlds that are completely taken over by AI, and this is the corner of our universe here where they are building into um it's like bead system. It's like our universe produces another universe and it's popping out of it, and you are taken some there from somewhere. You didn't come from you've been a lot like on Mars and Tiamat. You've been on quite a Venus, a lot of planets. You've been on the you say Sagittarius star system. Libra, you kind of naming them to, but you say that they're actually wrongly put there. They are artificially constructed names given to them, but just for you to understand, that's how those are called. It's like you're taking me to some world where there are it's away from our universe. It's a different universe. You call it triangular universe because all the things inside are pretty much triangular, kind of like shaped interestingly because I see you like that energy, and it looks like when you draw as a child like bird flying. So you do two half circles, and you're flying as this yellow, green, blue energy towards me. But then you turn into white, like transparent white, and then you go to purple and blue and red, and you change your energies. You're saying that you're singing, you're bringing music and light, and energy changes under the change of your music. You are singing the music of the universes. You're bringing it to different dimensions to connectivity. Yeah, it's almost like you're showing me that you connect wires in between different dimensions, building ladders made out of sound, um, speed, sound, light, light and sound. And you keep saying connectivity, like you are feel connected to your other selves who live on this particular planet and that particular universe. And you're like your subconscious shows me like those little connectors we use. Let's say we want to plug on headphones and we need connector here and there. You are like a connector, and I see, I want to say excavator, I don't know, but it's just like a cosmic term, I guess, to for understanding. So there's the ships. They look kind of like flat, oval, like a flattish egg, and it's split into halves, and it opens up like this, and it shovels, like it goes, opens its so-called mouth, and gets a lot of creatures from particular planets that they need. And that's how you were taken to that Veleda star system that is artificially created. Oh, it's like a magnetic system. You cannot get out of it. That's why you translated me. And that's why I felt like almost like weirdly claustrophobic in there, because no matter what you do, you cannot get out. There is some magnetic laws similar to Earth, but they're much stronger. It's like invisible threads magnetize you, invisible threads of energy bind you to the metallized surface of those artificially AI generated planets. Um, and there's something about the certain calculations. I don't understand all this. There's a lot of formulas in place to keep souls put their bound to the system. The system, like you say, it's like a motor. It's like a motor and also like a gas station for some spaceships, because I see a lot of spaceships with ant people. You call them ant people because they look like they're wearing shiny black helmets and they have prolonged faces, but they're humanoids. Uh, there is a mix of insectoid form and the gray form. They come there by their spaceship. One is looking at me. Insectoid is more like mantis. type creature because she's got the big eyes. And I see how they sit in certain craters, and from craters, from the inner. Ah, those threads come from you, from souls, and there's a lot of them, like you. And first, the threads are going inside the metallic. They're like containers. They drain your energy, they collect energy, energy is preserved there, and energy is distributed through the whole system of the planet. There's like sort of little craters, and the spaceships, and the spaceships are like mold. They're wild looking. They look like oval, but then they oval, when it flies, it goes like horizontal, but then it changes and it plugs in into the hole and drains energy and moves back what it needs to do, like a gas station. Mm. And then you tell me, wait, aha, inside there's a like big laboratory. You got inside. I see you walking inside like a humanoid form. I think you can change your forms easily like that. Because I get like you're from six dimension. I think those um bird-like souls looking. It's basically not really avatar. It just your soul changes its uh consistency or like vibrational frequency, and it spreads its wings like that because you're kind of hovering over the surface. That's all you do. And it's needed for something. It's like you're like in a chain of energy supply of that particular corner of the universe. For it to expand, you cause expansion with others. And anyway, I see you walking around, and you decide you need to escape. You want to escape. You don't want to be there anymore. And it's weird because you changed form and you disconnected from the being in that container. I guess you get out periodically. And then they put you in some sort of laying logs. It looks like a log, like when you cut wood and you cut it into segments and take stuff out. And then I see you laying down. I see some green humanoid forms. I see the blue skinned ones. And you're like this neutral beige color yourself. And you go into some machine. It looks like it sounds kind of funny, but it's like a time machine. It feels like it's a time machine because it has this round circle, and it's like a wire, like a wire going in, like a, and on top of it, there's like for 2 feet the place, and you place your feet in there, but then there's like a spring. It goes like a thin, and it spreads out like an bull's horns, and you take like hold onto horns, and you look on this big. It's like a sphere. It's made out of like crystal, and inside you can see different universes. You can see where you want to go. And I see you looking at Earth, and you decide not to come here. You say no, no, it's another in slavery system. And you decide to go to Sirka. Sirciziem, Sarkisium. I have no idea what it is. Sarcasium. It's like a satellite of some energy planet hiding behind. Mm, I can't really pinpoint. It's like a funky looking thing. It's like a yellow globe, and it keeps moving. It's not really rotating or connected to any mm, mechanism. Like solar system looks like a mechanism, and it's always moving in the same way, the same place, basically the same. It never changes its trajectory. Um, but this one is going kind of like zigzagging everywhere. You wanted to experience that. You said because it's like a free planet. It's a planet and a spaceship at the same time, because I see some creatures on it. They look like giant birds with big beaks. And you said like those very ancient ones, and they give information. They like giant bluebirds. They look like those Egyptian birds, but they're not like that now. The energy feels different. They're not negative. Like in Egypt, you feel like they're negative. Um, and so you set yourself with your mind. It's like mind controlled, and I see you're spiraling through this tunnel that you created by connecting to the globe and the machine. You create some sort of portal of catapulting yourself out of that machine. That's a weird thing. You look like a comet. You're just going, but I see when you reach the yellow, you you catapult to Earth. It's like a trap planet or something, like a trap. Hmm. Yeah, it's hard to say, but you tell me that there's a lot of trap planets set up by gray civilization when they started coming and putting their implants in a lot of races, predominantly on the back of the head or in front. What we say reptilian brain is, it's like Grace put it there. It's an implant, you say. It's on the back of the head. And you said that you didn't know why you just changed the yellow planet when you reached it. It changed your a frequency, and it started shaking you. And through the wave technology, because it's like a light, like a lamp in there, and you get like shocked, surprised. All those emotions take you over or take over you for a second, and you're taken to Earth. You said there are multiple Earths, but you started up with the 3D one, and you said you had 120 lives, and this is 121, and you really feel like most of them are not even your lives, because it's like a surreal hypnotic trance slash dream. You do what you don't like to do. You always feel like you're on the wrong path. You always feel like you'd like something different, but when you try something different, you either don't succeed or you find it uninteresting also, because you've seen it all by now, and you're very curious. That what saved your life a lot in those lives. But you said you've been living on a lot of islands before. You enjoyed those lives. But then you also saw how the world was taken over by the darkness. Slowly but surely, the more and more programs were ingrained in every computerized cell of a human robotic body. You're saying the interesting things. You're pointing that I see you walking in the street, and I see you pointing at different people, and you're saying, don't you see, look, this one has a snout of an alligator, this one has a bird beak, this one is taken by a turtle being. There's a lot of reptilians around us. Look at this woman, her face looks like a snake. And you're saying that's what your subconscious transmits you, and you've been pushed to realize a lot of things. mm, and you just want you got taken, carried away, and you like to be free. You like to be free, like that flying energy, and you like to do the flying again. Um, because you just don't like to be too close to Earth. It's very heavy here. You don't like that heaviness. You don't like the perception of many, how they try to influence you, how aggressive they are, and a lot of things. But you also understand the others are a reflection of your own self, but you also know how to take and look at them and to figure out things about yourself also. But the thing is, once you were when you were going through the stratosphere, you tell me there are certain positions or platforms of certain beings that got connected to you. I see the uh it's like humanoid beings with big elephant trunks. They're blue skinned. Um, then there's been white giants, bold, tall, uh, kind of like whitish, cream skin. And you say that those are your handlers. They periodically come. Um, you said, well, thanks to the blue elephant, you call him. He comes and takes 15% of your energy. Um, he's basically supported by the Hinduism, you say. You show me India. You show me the hills, the elephants, the people praying to those. The giants are, you see how the giants came? They came from the, it's a spaceship, looks like a moon, that it's blue color. There's a letter coming out of it. And I see you as a tribal person. And you say Mecca, Mecca. I don't know what you mean. Yeah. You're showing me a Babylonian tower. You say it was for real. People want to get out of a trap. When they start understanding that, they get implanted more and more. And you were one of those who were observing the history. And then the giants came and they started teaching people some things, and they also wanted to take over lots of many groups of people. Um, there was show me. So I see like white dust, like a desert, and then I see a throne, and then I see big big like gates made out of rocks, huge giant rocks. I don't understand. They look like they're glued together, but they're like on a rainbow kind of. And there's a lot of them that going over and over, and they eliminate so much light out in the space. You can actually see it can be seen from other planets, from other from other star systems. and that's it's a Stargate tunnel that connects, through which alien groups come to observe the newly seeded forms of life, humanoid forms they seeded on Earth. And you were there, but you were more advanced, but you said that you had to pretend you were not advanced. But you could understand what was happening. And you say your whole 120 lives, this is 121, you've been walking through like a like tunnel with all the walls looking like a movie. And then from one life to another, you've seen a lot of historical events happening, but you're so tired of that. You feel like right now is kind of the end of it, when we're going to see the repetition of a lot of historical events that been in the past come to now, and they go one after another very quickly in very fast motion, because we're reaching that inner cycle that ends into in one particular dot. That dot is what created everything, and that dot is what's gonna take everything. um it's like atom of fractals that contains everything that's been, everything that will be, everything that was in the past, and we're part of it as creators. So we come in and out all the time, and this world is basically, it looks like somebody's rolling a piece of paper into a roll. This world is rolling in right now. And you said that just you wanted to remind your conscious mind in the body that it's important to keep the connection, which you do know, and it's important to observe and record inside of you events of the world right now, because it's not the end of the world, it's not the end of times, it's not the end of anything, but it's the end of the epoch. It's the end. It's the end of the chapter. The end of this particular evolutionary step of us as creators, because we get rid of the biggest obstacle we've ever had, which is related to AI programming. And it's not going to look like it, because there's going to be more AI generated sources of information, but at the same time, we're getting rid of um, figures and matrix members, people, objects, systems, biological selves. I think those are like biological people without a soul, a generated by or attached to that giant AI computer that moves like a humanoid form, like a robot. That those forms have to go, because we figured out the way how to cut the supply off of the black goo that they feeding off of. That black goo is gonna dry up in this universe, taking all the artificial blob with it. That's why there's gonna be a fight over who controls the last gas, the last cruel oil and things like that, like whatever is derived from the underneath the earth, that has to dry up to let the golden grid of light shine through, and let people understand how the programs will exist and change. How no longer you can live by the old programs. How no longer you can deal with old people just because you need to deal with them because they're important for you for this way, for this reason or that reason. Um, those who are, you're saying some of the people at work, they're not gonna make it through because a lot of times they would wish or they would have those low vibrational deeds and thoughts and feelings towards others that cannot carry them on. And you're showing me like little tunnel with the boats. Boats represent people. Some of them are gonna go underwater. Some of them are gonna catch into the wind because they're gonna be in a relaxed state and they can fly through the tunnel of consciousness. And you called the, I keep seeing this elephant head humanoid, and I keep seeing these two giants. It's mother and daughter giants. And this is really, I mean, they don't look like that, but that's what came to me. They don't look like they have gender at all. They're bold and big. One is bigger than the other, though. And you said that there's a pact and a deal, and they should give you your rock back where you recorded all the events and sequence of events that you had to record because there's a certain institute of, you say there's like a galactic institute of information that where you can bring the rock and insert it into the create a file with it in computer system there. You say there's a certain insert and you put it in and you get the information on the screen, and they took it and they turned it into your contract of an AI starving being, and you don't want to be that. I feel like they give you the truck. It's like a very bright metal gray, and inside there's just like orangey like an one of like the original gold. I don't know that there's not diluted with any metals. It's like very orange, bright, glittery, beautiful, and it looks like a yolk. It looks like somebody caught an egg and showing it to me. It's really, you took it from him. You said this is done. It's a contract that I'm gonna turn into an egg. You look at me, you say that it's a good idea you gave me, and I see chicken coming out of it, and you say that chicken will grow into a mother hen, and she'll give my eggs. My birds will come out from it. You send it off through the portal. It's a twirling portal. You just opened it, like a swirl. I see it's going out, transforms into some energy and flies out. And the contract is gone. You say it's like 92 points in the contract that you felt that's what they gave you. They I ask you if you want to check yourself for implants because I see some on the back. It goes along the spinal cord, by the ribs, on top too. It's kind of like system of cords and hooks on the back. I think it's pressuring the nerves of the hips and down the legs. You unplug it. It's hooked to the bone somehow. Um, there are little what are those? There are little metallic strings in the hand. They're very short though. And they're more like sticks, but I see them in different places. Um, number 14 came to mind, so that I think there's 14 short ones. Uh, it's because I see the gray coming every time you get like a problem in life or a situation that shook you up, your mental emotional body. The gray comes, turns the emotions into the little piece of that metallic thread and puts it in your hand. It's like a program, like remember that, remember, and then it connects to another one and another one. It becomes a chain of traumatic events that circulate kind of in your head, and different situations that you see happening not necessarily to you but to others stimulate those programs or remind you to stay put, because they don't want anybody to use his or her potential, and therefore they need to come up with elaborate systems of control. You say, and I see you holding like 14 little metallic woven like pieces of rope that you took out of your head. And I see that you're putting the whole ship with grace and through the portal that were connected to you too. The giants go into. You're taking off some like spider webs off the bottom of your feet. Um, just to create to make it hard, because you have to move a lot, walk a lot, do a lot, and they want to make sure that you get tired, that you don't have time for self development or something. Self, mm, because they know that's how you open the strong connection with the subconscious, but you already have a strong connection and nothing can hold you back, because now you know to be a spectator of your own destiny created by your own soul. And your soul is like, you say you're like a car of a train, the engine of a train of your soul, and it's gonna pull you through a lot of things that are coming at us. And you're just gonna be sitting inside your car and looking out of the window, observing all the events, because um, you say escalate. You show me the word, I can see it in the space. Escalation of everything. At the end, I see a different sun rising. I see a bright, like golden sun, like golden color, like beautiful golden color rising. And it looks different. It's much bigger than the sun we see, and it's like it's very warm, but it doesn't burn you. You don't need sunscreen. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need to hide from it. It does not burn you. That's the point of the whole thing here. Um, the original sun that comes is going to burn up all the connections to the old AI virus system, and we're just going to be able to choose in what world we're going to stay, in the old world or the new one. And all the very strong souls will be able to go to the new one, and only through consciousness, through understanding. It's not like you're physically gonna jump over and, get into another um, un- space and time and all this, but it's all about that understanding and your own creation of your own life events that correspond to your thoughts, to your to the story that you write. You can write a story in a book. You can take a piece of paper, write a story of your life. Even the moment when you want to go, you can describe that moment, and it will happen because now is the energies are amazing that way. It's like any story, any life story becomes true when the writer puts his heart and soul and mind and imagination to it, and it becomes true. Mm. I see you took all these implants and threw them into the portal. I see you creating some sort of pool filled with blue water. The water is it's thicker than our water, and when you dive through it, mm, the little capsules fall off of you. They look like rocks, but they're filled with different different feelings towards life situations, people from the past. Mm. Even your thought forms fell off. They look like they little little bottles. They fell off. So you cleansed your emotional, mental bodies. I see you looking at your DNA. I see you looking at your 28 strands of DNA, and you asking, telling me like, look, look how many are like darkened, like they're filled with dark matter. And you're saying it looks like that crude oil or something like that comes from underneath the earth, or like a very concentrated thick coffee, and they fill it up with AI. AI blocks it, and AI, thanks to that AI fluid in every human's DNA, humans get connected to devices they use, and they get hooked up to it because it's a DNA device connection, because they're gonna in the future world that they're planning to create, in it's already created anyway, some people will go there, through that DNA they're gonna become, mm, just say they're gonna become devices themselves, as if they are become robotic, and they don't really have to move through the world physically, but they move through the world by connecting their DNA, their brain processor computer of their body system into the artificially generated world, which is going to be generated from the what we call third eye area, which is going to be people going to be implanted with something in there. But you say that you're just gonna tell people that you need to avoid the being addicted. Addiction is the addiction is connection. It's an electric connection in between different artificial systems of the body. I see you taking chakras out. You're saying that let's use them as frisbees, open a portal, and let's see how many I can throw through the portal. And I see you taking them from your body and saying that, all these colors and all that, rainbow, and it's connected to a lot of teachings that are false. And they just want us to focus on the wrong stuff, and think that we cannot do much, but we need to spend all our energy and time trying to balance chakras and try to balance all this artificial implants put by grace into us, which we shouldn't be bothering with. We should be just ignoring ignoring the reality, ignoring the problems, ignoring the people we don't like, ignoring people with the habits we don't like, and ignoring our own strong desires, creating what we want and letting it go, like as if you were holding a pigeon and pigeon flies away, or a bird, or it's like I have a dream but I let it go, and the minute you let it go, it bounces off of the fabric of the universe and gets back at you, pixelated into physical form of your new reality. Because if everything for you is like a game, I want it, but if I don't get it, I'll be fine. Or it would be nice, but who cares? Just a game. Um, I would like to have more of this, but you know that this is, as everything else, it comes and goes, and you never know in the future whether you have to have an abundance of this and that, because they create scarcity through the AI system that we're in. So I don't really bother to pay attention or create feelings of anxiety or nervousness or worry. I just know that my soul is creating the perfect world for me, where everything is enough for me to live comfortably. Um, that's what you tell me. You're very interesting. You're like a chameleon. You constantly keep changing your energy. You keep changing even your character, like characteristics of you as a human. You can change. You're adaptive. Because the fabric of you is like, I see it's so different. Like you change colors, you change lighting, like how much light you goes through your skin, um, all of this. And you just don't want, you kind of want to be a quiet observer. Well, at least that's what your soul tells your conscious mind, your conscious self, to be a quiet observer, not to worry, just feel through. Who is true, who is just a good, beautiful picture. But a lot of beautiful pictures are just like one of those holograms that you touch it and falls apart. But it's made to be beautiful, to grab your attention, to grab you, to connect you to the egregore that is connected to a lot of forms, alien forms, who are parasitic to this small number of people with souls who are here right now. But I see you clean. I see you walking around your energy sphere. It has a very interesting, I think you know a lot of symbology. I see you know a lot of shapes and forms and symbols. I see a lot of spheres and the wings coming out of it, as if with your mind you paint them on the walls of your energy sphere. And you see some, I don't know, I see some insectoid forms. I see a lot of you 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 do observe them when your body is asleep. You don't really travel too far, but I see you like almost like walking on the streets of your city, and uh, when your body is asleep, but you're seeing all the what the physical eyes cannot see, and it entertains you. It's interesting for you. It's fascinating. You like that stuff. But the physical self doesn't really know what you're doing. Physical self is resting. Okay, how to get rid of the feeling of emptiness? Because you say that at this time right now, a lot of people are feeling empty or like calmness before the storm, and that's the right feeling. That means as sensitive you're sensitive too. But we're gonna see the unfolding performance of different acts, which will look totally out of place, strange, weird, surreal, but just a performance organized by the little group of um, basically draconian reptilian empire fighting with other alien groups represented by the tall whites. But you can ask questions if you want, because you're like, I see you looking around and you're kind of the flow of information stopped for a second. Mm. Mm. I see your energy gotten like I see through your body. I see through your energy bodies. I don't see any dark spots anymore. Those cores are all gone. The from the bottom of the feet are gone. The head, from the back, from shoulders, everywhere, they're gone. You just filled up all those spots with your own energy. Mm, that's it. It's done. Let me drink some water. There's one thing about your chameleon self. You can connect to a lot of beings easily. And sometimes you almost like hear their thoughts, their voices, their worlds. You feel them, you see them in your dreams. Um, the information transmitted to you and through you, like a connector, like an antenna. You know this about you. You know that you can connect easily and disconnect easily too. And a lot of times you wouldn't stay for a long time with anything or anybody because it's too hard for you. It's just kind of like energy generator that runs full speed, never stopping. It's not easy. It's hard. It's tiring. It tires you out. That's if you wanna see something, because I'm just gonna. There's just you're showing me some inner earth, some crystals inside. Some crystals are moving. Um, because as they move, they're gonna cause some shifts in soil, in water supplies underneath, in the energy grids, in a lot of things. And we're gonna see the consequences because as the ball move, there are a lot of them crystal, huge giant crystal balls. As they move, the surface is being heated up, and from where they're gone, the surface is gonna be colder, getting colder. Where they come, move towards, for some reason from equator they're moving towards the north pole and north poles. There's gonna things are gonna get heated up there, and the glaciers and the water is gonna just spill all over. You're showing me that timeline here. I see it. So things are gonna be changing. You know it. You feel it. You just wanted to hear it from your own subconscious, from your own soul, to get strongly connected. And if you want to, just say no, I don't want to. Your conscious part says no, I don't want to change anything. I'm fine with it. I accepted what I got, what I have at this point, and I know things are gonna change rapidly, so there's no point of changing anything. Deep down, I know that at the very bottom of myself. Mm. Well, you're just raising you're saying that the vibration goes up and down no matter what you do, and you just have to catch the moments of when you feel good, and you just appreciate those moments, because that just system is all about. You're showing me like the keyboard of a piano when you press on the so some people go up in vibration, they're happy, and then somebody comes up to the piano and clicks on the head as a key of that person, but person goes down. So there's also always a movement. We never stay the same. So in our minds, inside ourselves, we should always be prepared that we can win or lose any time, any moment of the time, and it's fine. It's life. That's how it goes. Nothing is predictable. Nothing is stable. With that, it's easier to leave. With that, you won't have any unexpected surprises. I hear that's the final word from your subconscious, but your soul can answer your questions if you want. It's like a message that was whatever I said before to remember. It was just like all over.
That was quite intriguing. It was pretty neat. When you say you're connecting with my consciousness, is that my higher self or is that something else or both?
It's your energy, it's your full energy. It's like it's huge. It's like I'm in a big cloud of your energy, and I feel who you are, what you know, what you can be, what you're in the future, what you're in the past, what you're in the now, what you're in between, and what you observe. Because basically you showed me how we all observe each other no matter what the distance is. And then we feel what who is our person, who is not, because we it's like we plug into the system of the other person where you feel comfortable. Like, so meaning that my energy sphere around me is similar to yours. That's why you came to me, because you feel comfortable. You know. No, I feel like I want to say that it's kind of like a person chooses a bed or a chair. Everybody has his own preferences. You just feel comfortable and warm in that particular place. And with listen to that particular voice of a person, which gives off a frequency, the certain way the person gives like looks at you and things like that. It's very important. We're sensors. We have this invisible receptors around us.
I've heard somebody referred to something called the bandwidth, someone's bandwidth. Is that similar to what your the energy field is, or just relabel it in a different way?
I mean, basically, it's like why the shape. Like I always see at the end. I guess I don't say it, but the people are like spread their arms and legs, and they go like this. This is like as far as I can reach. This is my energy, and usually it's actually I was thinking about it too because I always felt this, and I felt something was wrong with me when I wanted to keep people at a distance. Because in Europe, they want to kind of like hug you and stuff and kiss you on the cheek and all this. And I never liked it. I don't even like shaking hands, but that's because you don't want to let anybody in your energy field. Because you automatically kind of like start reading off all the negatives and all the of that person, and we're wired to read negatives first. And that's why sometimes a lot of times we kind of feel sick just by being in close to somebody or walking into the room where there's just like a tail of energy from that person who just left the room. Same idea.
You there's some moments where I have missing time. Can you tap into something to find that?
Hmm.
Um, Back in 2000, around 2015, with a friend of mine.
Yeah, because you went on a spaceship of those giants. This is like a big spaceship comes over. It's gray at the bottom and light. It's almost like it like blends into a sky. Like I know that's the outskirts of it, like outline, but it's like you don't even see it. And I see your consciousness, your inner. It's like an insert, like energy body comes out of your physical, and your physical is frozen in space and time, and they take you, they scan you. They actually they use you a lot like that. It wasn't the only time. You probably don't realize how many times they take you like that because you're some sort of like a transformer. You can transform energy. They can plug you to any world. Um, how does it happen? It's like they have these devices. When they bring you on a spaceship with them to a particular world, and they basically get to the close distance to that particular. There's bands of light of each world, much like the rings of Saturn, and they somehow plug you in to one of the circles of light, or it's like a dust moving, I don't know, around the planet, but it contains all the information. And
Sounds
they yeah, they read off of the information. They usually steal technologies this way from advanced civilizations because you connected to your other selves in other higher vibrational worlds. And since you carry that connection in you, you're like a plug-in transformer and absorber of information and receiver, conductor. Um, I literally feel like you're used like that. Plug-in device into different worlds. And they use
you
you like, yeah,
like a memory stick.
yeah, yeah, like a fork made out of crystal. Crystal absorbs the information, then they plug you in into their computer system. How that happens? They put you into this like I said, like you take a trunk of a tree, cut it off in the middle, slice it in the middle, and then take everything out. It's like a bathtub in a way, but it's shaped differently, and it's all over you, and it goes over your head, and it scans the information you just received all along you, all along, not only from head but like whole body, and then they put you back into the body, and then you are just like, sometimes it happens with you to you in conversations when you lose your trail of thought, or like you're talking about something and then you like freeze and like, oh, what was I talking about? And that's usually when they take you out from your reality and insert you back like that. hmm and I don't know, whoever you're with, they don't experience the same because they're not taken, and they feel kind of weird. They feel weird vibe off of you because they feel like the energies from the aliens who used you, just used you, and they get a little kind of disoriented. So yeah, it's that's what it is. I think
Okay.
you're very, yeah. I get all the time a conductor and transformer from you.
So I got a very odd question. So for many years, people see me and, out of the blue, like just normal, like I open the elevator door and someone will see me and they'll approach me, and it's not necessarily like that, but it's quite similar. Just people that I don't know, random people, they'll say, "You look very familiar," and then some people go, "Are you a police officer or a commander or you look someone really important?" And then my friends have heard that so many times, they just laugh. They're like, "Why is this happening?" It's so strange, and it happens a lot. And in the last year, it's happened quite a bit, which is it's just strange. And people at work joke about it.
Um, yeah, well, because you've been a lot in, first of all, a lot of different lives that people, obviously, there's not too many people on the planet, around 29.9% of the ones with souls. They subconsciously remember you from other lives, but I also feel like you've been taken to a lot of programs to be that connector, conductor, teacher of information. It's almost like you're not a teacher, like in your informational field that is needed, and then they make an imprint for you, and they imprint that imprint into a reality of, let's say, planet Mars, Moon, Jupiter, any planet that is used as a military base. They have the information center. And it looks like you've been used a lot on those two, to conduct, to grab the knowledge, and like I said, they steal technologies, and they use you to steal technologies, and it's like they employ you to be like it leads me to something more than just what we just saw with your question, because it looks like they can use you as some sort of put you in a life for this many years, use you as I mean, they would use you as an instrument of like a spy type technology, because you're a chameleon. You can be put, your soul can be put in anybody, or you can shapeshift into anybody according to the parameters that they put in. They have specific little towers, they call them towers of transformation. They can put a soul in there, and they can put on the screen what body shape you need to take, and you would take that and you would go to different worlds, because I see you are also being taken and put on different planets by some alien groups. So I see that happen to you too. I'm not gonna say that. So you've been close to SSP type idea, right? But you weren't really like an active commander in there, but it's more like on staff, you know, type thing. Um, and you've been in a lot of lives that are connected to the transforming the reality, and that means high positions. People might remember from other lives. You might trigger them a lot too, because the energy you contain in your energy field triggers them to remember you. That's what I feel. You're filled with information. It just a receiver conductor doesn't go away from me. They don't really. They just scan it off of you, but you still keep it in your energy field. That's why I just feel like you're not interested in many things in life, or if you are, you get interested, but you lose the interest because you've done everything, you've seen everything, you've recorded inside and lived through a lot of things without really living through them in terms of a lifetime. But because you can easily kind of like feel a person even in conversation, and shift your energy to copy that person's manners and ability to talk and ways of talking, and you kind of adapt quickly to the environments. That's what they've been using you for. That's why. I don't see any pictures of you like in some sort of uniform, some sort of which I think you might be thinking. I don't see that. But rather than some sort of one of those personnel that does a lot of things for them.
Like an operative in some sort of way.
You feel very similar to me because they used me as a telepathic interpreter in between the U.S. The Secret Service and alien groups to get information from there, because I have telepathic abilities, but you have the other abilities. You have the abilities of be sent as an agent, as a spy, totally blend into a society of a new alien group on a different planet. See how their society, or it's not a society really, it's like they have rules of their own life game, and they have functions, they have technology, and you can actually become a member of their group, absorb all the information, and through you, they would, other alien groups would take it through you, like a plug-in system, like that. And that's why you feel like you probably actually, when you watch something, you feel like, oh, I know this, I've been there, I remember that, like that. I think a lot of information triggers you and makes you feel like, oh, yeah, that's what I've done too, like that. Simply because you're just filled with that information. And plus, they've been sending you to different. I see a lot of years. Okay, there's a before World War II, after, and before even that, like the Roman Empire, all those. You've been through a lot of historical events. I don't know. Yeah, you say segments of history. That's what you call them. And you're saying there's a lot of us. There's a lot of souls who are used for changing information in different timelines, receiving information. They use this plug-in systems of conveying information, and also like a bridge from one epoch to another, from one lifetime to another on a spiral of time, and the historical events connected to the timelines of spirals. I think sometimes you get overwhelmed, maybe, but you don't know why, because there's so much information that kind of makes you like. That's what I feel from you.
Um, is there, like, quite often I have not often, but every once in a while in the last 7 years, I get dreams describing what you just described. How what you described in regards to how I'm getting used. It literally just it's triggering something. It's triggering my dreams. Like a lot of the dreams I have, it kind of feels like I'm like a spy, and I wake up and I'm like, that was weird. I felt like I was on a mission, and sometimes like days ago, and it feels like I'm running away, and they're trying to get something that I have of that have of possession, but it's always something to do with me getting something from somebody for something, and then and getting away. I'll always get away, and quite
Feel like
often there's a girl with me often, which is very very strange, and I can't see her face, but there's quite often there's a girl with me. And 2 years ago, I went on a golf trip, and my friend went to there's three of us sleeping in a room, staying at someone's house that we knew. He went to the washroom. He came back and he saw a girl sleeping beside me, a blonde girl, and he's like, "What the hell? Did he go to the bar and then come back with somebody?" And then so the morning he goes, "Did you go to the bar last night?" I go, "No, I didn't go anywhere. I went to bed before you guys did." And he said, "I went to the washroom, I came back, and there was a blonde girl there." And it blew me away because I have dreams of a blonde girl. And I woke up one time and I thought someone was beside me, and I thought it was my friend on my couch, and she was sleeping on my couch. And I didn't think much about it because I thought it was her, because I turned around, I felt something on my bed, turned around, it was a girl sleeping beside me. And I went to bed. I didn't think much about it, and I asked her about it. She said no. But there's always like a dream or a memory of something of sometimes a girl in these missions or the spy missions, and it does. The word spy definitely triggered something when you said that. I was like, ah, which is very very strange.
it's weird you mentioned that, because I saw before you start talking about it, I was gonna, I mean, it's from you, right? An example that sometimes there are
Yep.
other assets used as a woman who is
you're
supposed to go through the
you're
time
freezing
machine.
up.
I was going to
If you could
say
hear
that,
me.
through the time machine.
Oh, that's so
And
weird.
it's like an example, it clicked, and then for a second, I thought, well, that's probably come from me and not from him, because, sometimes when I open my eyes, I unplug from you. And like you go on, let's say, to London or Paris, and you have to you basically have to sleep with a certain
Okay,
high reptilian who is on high position. They're usually shapeshifters. They
can
look like
you
humans, but they're not. And she gets,
can you send
by
over?
being with him and sleeping, she gets information from him, and then she goes back through the time tunnel or time machine. I don't know. I've seen you in a lot of time machines, and I'm thinking like he's one of those who travels through time and from one year to another, like click click, he's all over the place, and that's your face is like imprinted in all the timelines, and that's why people are like, I remember you, you know like big brother spying on me in all my lives. Yeah, but I didn't see the girl like you described, but for some reason that example came to me before you start talking. I can look what that girl is, but I'm
Can
curious
you
now.
can,
Um,
can you hear me?
you're gonna laugh here, but I don't see like a separate from you anybody. But you also see sometimes you take a woman form and they split you in two, and you become a male and female as partners together. So basically, so basically, you see yourself, and those people, your friends, saw you as a is in a split. You know how they have this? I see a lot of labs where you can actually split your energy in three because you have a lot of it's kind of like a lot of energy. You can split it in three, put it in three different bodies, and go to three different missions at the same time. And some of the bodies are like, I would say, like a girl from Japanese cartoon with long hair and big eyes. That's what I see. And I see it's as an anthem of you, like like you in a female form. It probably feels to you like it's not because you are thinking with a physical brain, and physical brain entitles all the wants and you know kind of like ideas, desires related to the body, programming the brain as brain computer, what the physical body should do, what the physical body likes, or whatever it is. But I don't see separate anybody. It's actually you. Mm. It's you who sees yourself. Yeah, and that's why it just like separates from you and then goes right back into you. And I'm telling you, a chameleon, you can change your everything. You can change your face, you can change your the way you look. It can be anybody. That's why they use you for it, for this specific reason. Not every soul can do it. But that's actually the reason why you know that a lot of those whom you know through different missions are gonna go now because they're shapeshifters. They're reptilians from the top positions all around the world. They're gonna go. You feel it, you know it. It's interesting. Makes it interesting for you to watch who goes first. Like all the princesses of the world. You know, all those kings, queens, the Pope, the all those in charge of all the churches. They're just gonna go and
You can you hear me?
yeah, yeah.
You when I asked that question, the my screen froze up, but I did hear you say something about a woman that comes in and grabs information, takes off, but anything before that I didn't hear. The
Oh,
full screen.
really?
Will
Huh.
it be recorded? I know you're
Like
recording.
you split up in two, like your soul splits up in two, and it's actually technology that generates two bodies, and they put like your soul into two, but you're connected,
Okay.
like like an upside down heart connected.
Okay. That's
And then you
interesting.
go like a partner with a partner. You can do missions together, but you're still connected through the one energy field, and that's how they get information from both. You can do two
So
missions at the same time.
so I got a question. Am I being monitored? I guess I'm being watched all the time by these giants and this elephant person. Are they
Mm,
benevolent or benevolent?
you've been connected to them. You put them through the portal. You got rid of them. They're not connected to you anymore. They're out of your energy field. But you were before, 100%. They've been using you all the time. They've been taking you out of the body all the time, basically.
and I got rid of them doing what I do here in the physical form, or is that my subconscious, or our contract was over, or
No, it's a subconscious that does the job in the etheric. It takes care of all these things because what basically your subconscious reads the information off of me, and then, oh, I need to get rid of everything that doesn't belong to me, those giants and that big elephant head, kind of fat humanoid, put implants into you. I remember the nets at the bottom of your feet to make your step heavier, to kind of ground you more, so you don't accomplish as much as you would like to, or you get tired faster. That's what they've done. And you got rid of all of it, all the implants and the beings, and they went through. Mm, you get information from me like this because you're in my energy field and we're connected in the session. So you basically um, opened the portal and threw it all out to get rid of it.
okay? This is, this is fascinating. It's so interesting.
Mhm.
Um, so I have I've seen somebody with different eyes.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know if I should say this or not because I've only told a few people in my life. And when I saw this person's eyes, they were the pupils weren't round; they were straight up and down. And when I saw them, he turned away, and I lost my memory for 3 years. But then it came back, and I remember it as clear as day. But since then, I don't contact him anymore. I know who he is, and I know where he is. And my friend
Reptilian
said,
eyes.
I was something. And but my memory of that circumstance went away, and then a very odd thing happened where I got arrested for not a good reason, and it was just very, very strange. And in the United States, when I was down there, and I made it back. And when I made it back, the border person said, "What happened?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And well, like there's something weird on my screen. And then I told him, and he goes, "Holy cow, you were set up." I'm like, "What? What do you set up?" And I did. It just couldn't. I couldn't fathom. I'm still kind of thinking at that time, what happened? I come back over. I go to my mom's house. I knock on the door. It was late. She just starts yelling at me. What happened? Blah blah blah. Freaking out like typical mom stuff. And because I was transferring over from one province to this province where I live, so I was staying at her
Mhm.
house. And I go, why? What happened? And then she goes, there were six police RCMP officers here, and they're all cars, and they're all asking where you were. And I'm like, what? And it didn't make sense, right? At that
Mhm.
time, my memory was gone. And so I
Like you get
told,
disoriented because you're taken out, you're taken to different missions, you come back and you're like plug into this life, and
well,
and
she's
and
like,
stuff happened in that
well,
time.
it was weird. And then and I started telling like a couple people in my family, and they're like, "Don't go down there anymore, just in case you can't come back." But I've been down there before in the States, and no big deal. But my point is, it none of it made sense. That whole scenario of me going down there, getting falsely arrested, because it took like 3 hours for me to get arrested as well, which was really strange. And then I came back, and then I remember the story. And then, like I said, it was like 3 or 4 years later, the memory came back. And then I had that aha moment, like, huh. And I remembered what happened. And I remembered that happened about a week before that all went down, like the guy's eyes. And I thought, uh, that must, I must have not, I wasn't supposed to see his eyes. And then they try to put me away. And,
Mhm. Mhm.
and the memory came back, and then it all made sense. And I told my mom and my brother and my cousin and stuff like that. And then around that time, a whole bunch of weird stuff started happening, and I made a phone call to somebody in the States. And then she started saying that, you've been abducted, and all these things, and also this flooded stuff started, paranormal stuff started happening to me more and more, and then I was like, oh my god, and I kind of didn't want it to happen, and then everything started making sense, all the paranormal stuff, but the eyes were one of the biggest things. But there's been a lot of other things, but I always wondered like I don't want to like search for it. I don't want to go to him. I don't want to ask because someone said that it's like probably hitting a kicking a hornet's nest. You don't want to do that because of what happened last time.
Yeah,
But
because the
can
energies now are pressuring and they're basically, in a way, the energies are so intense, they're pushing up your real true self with your real true abilities and your DNA being restructured, and DNA holds the abilities. So that's why you're gonna see more, feel more. Um, like all of us will experience drastic changes in life because the old programs are not working anymore. If we were doing something, tolerating somebody, we can no longer do that anymore. There's no more toleration of somebody who is not like you or with different frequencies who are like destroying you or try to do something to you. It's just not possible anymore. We're just splitting up in every way possible into our own energy fields. That's but in your case it's like your DNA opening, and the more evidence you see, the more you start believing in yourself and understanding, the more memories are opening up and you connect the dots, and that's what they don't like. They don't want you to discover all this stuff about yourself because that's when the soul and the body got super powerful, and that's when they really want to get rid of you. But I mean, it's hard to get rid of a very powerful soul because that means you decide when you go and you say, hey, I want to live until I'm 120. There's nothing you can do to me. That's my decision, my free will. Mhm.
that's interesting. When you said 120 lives, and I'm on the 121 now. Uh, is there a beginning sense of when the first ones began? Or like when someone says a young soul or soul short soul on the planet, is that such a thing for to identify?
Um, to be honest, I've seen
Not that it
people
matters.
like
It's
me,
just
was like first life here or number 8, number 10 lives here, and they are much smarter than the older wise souls. Because I feel like my youngest child is a wise soul. She came here for the first time, but she had so many lives in other dimensions that makes her like she says things that an 80-year-old with all the experience would say, but she's only 8 herself. So it's our
I
perception is we put everything, we like to classify like in school maths and algebra and all this. There's no classification really.
gotcha.
It's all through connection to your own soul. I mean, people around you who are totally disconnected. They're totally fixated on money, business, all this stuff, materialistic, and so their soul is not interested in that body anymore because I mean, you're just running the stupid programs of the matrix. You're interested in that. I came here to use the body to do something more special than this. And that's why a lot of those people will go. And because those people hold the banking system, all this religious system and all, those are going to fall apart slowly too. So it's a process, but, and also like destructive programs like um, people fighting with each other, groups fighting wars and all this, they're going to run through the system quickly, through all the countries, basically, one way or the other, and they're going to be destroyed. The program's going to be over, and it's
Right.
not going to be back again, ever again, type of thing. That's what I feel. It's like
Um,
on the last circle of repeat. Okay, let's repeat all the craziness, you've ever experienced in the like of wars, pandemics, blah, 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 everything, and then ding, gone, done. That's what I see.
I got two questions, and I think I'm good. One is, what do you think of learning how to astroplane or astral project? Is that a good thing? I was thinking about doing it and investing more time and seeing if I could do it because when I meditate, I get some weird, odd, kind of fascinating experiences.
You've been doing it already. As long as you don't go away and astral project in some group that is connected to a Gregor machine that puts you like in a fake planetarium AI generated room where you see weird stuff, but it's totally, holographic and fake. Now, if you do it
Uh,
by yourself, mm, I don't know. People say, oh, it's dangerous, but I know why they say it's dangerous because they're plugged into the matrix system, and matrix doesn't want us to explore
gotcha.
things. I do it. I mean, kids do it naturally. They astral
Yeah.
project without understanding what it was. So I saw a flying reptilian in this black hole thing, and what it was that, and like yeah, well, you were out of your body. Um, yeah, you can do it. I mean, you are able to do all kinds of stuff. I mean, someday you'll probably see all kinds of like um okay, I'll call it time machine. But
Oh,
it's really like a big wire that spins you like a mini collider that transforms your energy and then puts it back together. It's like when you put atoms together into a body and then you separate them and they're scattered and then they transform through the like a wind tunnel. It looks like a wind tunnel into other vibrational frequency field, which we call a world, a universe, a planet, and then it gets glued together, which is like that's what you do. I mean, it's obviously very easy for you to do.
it's funny how you said time travel, it's very strange because a lot of my dreams feel like I'm time traveling, and I wrote some of my dreams down where I actually see one like I saw one. I think I can't remember. It's been years, but it was like something like 7,555, and I remember doing these. It's like a go places, and I know the time frames are different. It's just a sense that I know that the time is different, and uh, and also there was a time where I was my dreams where I was experienced different types of deaths, and it was just so strange. And I remember capturing a couple like a Bigfoot type being one time too. It was really strange. But the time travel thing, it sounds very, you triggered something. And it's a lot of the things that you said remind me of a lot of dreams, which is really strange.
I
How
see you
dream,
in
how,
uniform a lot. I see you in uniform a lot. You're just talking right now. Like, I see you in this German uniform, the French uniform, the different army, Swiss army uniform. Like, and that's what people probably get from you. Like, whoa, like different different faces, different positions, but they would put you in a high position. They would, because you need to be in the center of the information. So therefore, people probably say, "Oh, I remember you were like a commander over there or over here. You kind of look like that one. Look at this history book, and you like see your face. Like, whoa, yeah, I look kind of like him. That might happen too. Like those like different wars and different agreements in between countries when they sign pacts. And when you see pictures, you might recognize your face in one of those too. It's possible.
there was something else inspired us. I guess that's it. I love it. It's so okay. So
Fun
you
life.
recorded this. So you
Yeah.
recorded this.
Yeah,
So
it's 140 minutes almost. Yeah, right now.
how, how would I receive
40.
that?
Let me turn it off here.